coping with COVID-19, brought to you by NGC, at the forefront of energy.
All right, welcome back, everybody. And just before the break, as Lisa mentioned, we're going to be chatting with an individual from Namdevco. His name is Christopher Alexander. He is the manager of quality assurance at Namdevco. We'll be discussing food sustainability. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us this morning. And we are speaking on, the question is, can we feed ourselves? And we are speaking specifically on the topic of food sustainability. So good morning again. Thank you. And, for those who do not know, and, they've been hearing the term before, but they don't quite know what it is, what is, or who or what is Namdevco?
Namdevco is the National Agricultural Marketing and Development Corporation. We are a statutory body under the Ministry of Agriculture. Our main function is to provide market facilitation, amongst other services, to increase the activity, the production efficiency, and the marketing of some of the local agricultural produce grown here in Trinidad and Tobago, both to the local, regional, and international market.
Wonderful. And what are your locations and where are your operations based?
Our head office is based at Debe. We have 9 farmers markets located throughout the countries. We have wholesale fresh produce markets at Debe, at Mokoya, also wholesale fish markets at Orange Valley and Port of Spain, along with the Valencia Farmers Retail Facility and the Woodford Lodge Facility in the Sugarnas area.
Wow,
those are our main locations.
So you're very widespread across the country, which is excellent because, we all need access to these things around the country as well. Now let's go on the topic of food sustainability itself. What is food sustainability?
So food sustainability focuses on 3 key aspects. It focuses on the economic, social, and environmental aspect to food production or to agriculture, any type of production dealing with those items. It's ensuring that you have a system in place that ensures that you have sustainability on these 3 aspects, or these key factors are kept in mind to ensure that the benefits for the future generations are not compromised. So from an economic standpoint, it must be profitable. The operation of the food system must be profitable. From a societal standpoint, there must be broad-based benefits, both for farmers, consumers, the general public. And from the environmental standpoint, the operations shouldn't have a negative impact on the environment. It should either be positive or neutral. So food sustainability sort of seeks to ensure that these smaller facets of sustainability are adhered to or are focused on during any type of system, any type of activity that happens during the food production system.
All right. And you just made a mention of a term there, food production system. What is that?
A food system will be all the individuals or all the actors involved in the production, the inputs, the distribution, storage, transportation, consumption, even disposal of food or food production or agriculture, and how these persons interact with each other. That more or less forms a food system, so to speak.
All right. And what are the key principles of food sustainability when, as in a time like now, when it comes to COVID-19, where we may have some challenges in that department, considering so much of our the food we consume is imported? What are some of the key principles of food sustainability that we should be aware of and adhere to?
The principles include increased production or employment, some type of value addition in the system. As I highlighted before, protecting and enhancing the environment or the natural resources, because although you're trying to increase productivity, you don't want to increase the acreage of land under production, but you more or less want to become a bit more efficient of it. And then also see how you can improve livelihoods of those involved to ensure that they also experience some type of economic growth. And you just build a system around that, and then you try to do different policies or try to adapt to new challenges based on the governance policies that are in place for or to stimulate the sustainable food.
And what drives like the global, what drives global food sustainability?
global food sustainability will be more or less guided by, in most countries, guided by the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal, specifically goal number 2, which speaks to zero hunger.
Right.
This sort of the driver or the focus of main countries in now trying to transit or transition to a sustainable food development goal as highlighted in these different aspects. According to the Sustainable Development Goal, we must ensure that we have a food production system, a sustainable food production system, and implement different type of resilient agricultural practices that will, help increase the profitability, the productivity, and also help maintain the ecosystem.
And
That's
what
sort of the
and
general
what is
trust towards food sustainability.
yes, and what is Namdevco doing locally to ensure that we are, at least working toward those food sustainability goals?
I didn't get that.
What is Namdevco doing locally as pertains to, working toward or achieving those food sustainability goals?
Okay. Generally, Namdevco would have had some different programs or initiatives in place. We have a voluntary farm certification program which deals with monitoring and certifying of farmers to ensure that they meet good agricultural practices in their production, which we also use to monitor and collect information and data to feed into different type of systems. Over the last year, Namdevco has also led the development with a number of other key agencies, including the Bureau of Standards, ICA, and other agencies, has sort of led the development of a national good agricultural practices program, which is supposed to replace this farm certification program on a more national scale, with the key focus of ensuring that agricultural production meets these international standards, meets these good agricultural practices, which will sort of develop and boost activity towards ensuring sustainable farming, but also increasing the production system as we go forward. Another key example on a smaller scale will be a collaboration that we have with the Cropper Foundation.
Right.
To produce they actually were annual program a couple morning with the Grow brand to produce, something that is grown pesticide safe to some extent, which goes through a rigorous monitoring and testing system, which seeks to show local farmers how they can adopt more sustainable practices and also help them to get premium at the markets. Our market facilitation department also creates different connections, different linkages with key institutional buyers, export markets, and different type of private institution, where we provide them with database and information on what is happening with the farmers in our program, and then sort of encourage them to increase the consumption or the purchases of the local food being produced, and which will be a mutual benefit to both them and both the farmers. And even other direct linkages where we're able to provide them with market information or just connect them to the end user or the producer of the product.
All right. And when it comes
also,
to
during this time, as you highlighted, of the COVID-19 pandemic,
correct,
we have seen where we were able to maintain most of our markets to continue to be open. That's our wholesale markets and our farmers markets and our seafood markets also, where stringent measures have been put in place, but it just to ensure that the continuity exists. So we see throughout the farmers markets, we see the different social distancing that happens amongst the consumers, amongst the vendors. We see all the different initiatives that are put in place to, sort of fast forward, ensure that food remains available to the consumer on the wholesale and the retail level. And, they are able to come and do the trade. It may be some discomfort, but it allows for the continuity and the access to food in most instances.
When you mentioned the continuity and access to food, being that such a huge part of our food consumption is imported, about 70% or so, now that in a time where, imports may be threatened because of the cut down or the restriction of movement between countries and such, do we have the capacity to feed ourselves with our current farming capabilities?
So what is happening currently through our market facilitative approach, we are in constant communication with a lot of the distributors or the large buyers or the consumers, the large consumers, the wholesale consumers of fresh produce. So on a daily basis, they are contacted, and in an attempt to try to ascertain what are their demands, what are some of their shortfalls, if there are any impacts based on the, as you highlighted, in terms of the importation of the food or their inputs itself. And then we try to directly link them to farmers who have this who has the relevant products in production at this point in time, right, to sort of mitigate against there being a gap or a shortage in supply. So this discussion is ongoing on a daily basis, and as fast as they highlight a shortfall, we locate, based on the commodities we have grown locally, we locate commodities that can be used. In some cases, we may suggest a substitute for the commodity based on the current production data that we have from the persons we monitor. Also, farmers who are not within our system or not within our program also contact us, and a lot has been contacting us of recently due to the impacts of the COVID, and we have been also able to connect them to a final buyer also too.
All right, well, that looks like...
we are trying our best to fill the gap or to suggest a substitute based on what is available locally, what is being produced.
All right, and that sounds like good news for us there. And with that, I want to thank you so much for joining us this morning, Christopher Alexander, Manager of Quality Assurance at Namdevco. And, we just get that information there. And every week we'll be joining with the Ministry of Agriculture and Namdevco to really get that information out there and, keep the public informed as well. So thanks again. And this was brought to you by NGC.
Coping with COVID-19, brought to you by NGC, at the forefront of energy.